Hey guys, David here. Welcome to Digital Outlook, where you're gonna find the best community in all of crypto. In today's video, XRP is shining while Coinbase is getting sued. So guys, without further ado, why don't we get to it? Well, guys, it will never cease to amaze me how fast the tables can turn in this space. It sure doesn't seem that long ago when it was XRP in the hot seat and Coinbase was literally dumping it on its ear, being one of the first exchanges to delist it. Now here we are with XRP right ready to get the legal clarity which would be the envy of this space, and Coinbase just receives a Wells notice and is on its way to getting sued by the SEC. Just take a look at this article right here. And XRP shines as Coinbase grapples with the SEC. Now listen to this down here. The XRP price has turned positive after meandering between positive and negative territory in the last 24 hours. Now leading the broader cryptocurrency market higher, XRP has shown resilience in the midst of a regulatory crackdown on digital assets. XRP maintains its lead as the single best performer among the top 10 cryptos over the past week, with a gain of over 24%. The XRP army is showing little sympathy for US-based crypto exchange Coinbase. According to CEO Brian Armstrong, Coinbase has received a Wells notice from the US SEC for its staking and asset listings, a telltale sign that a lawsuit is right around the corner. What has the army miffed is that Coinbase didn't flinch before delisting XRP from its trading platform amid Ripple's regulatory woes. Coinbase cited low usage of the coin for its delisting, but at the time, XRP was the 7th biggest cryptocurrency. Now that the shoe is on the other foot, XRP investors are finding some pleasure in seeing Coinbase squirm. Now, guys, you really can't blame us, because all that time, all those other assets that were Ethereum-based, Coinbase kept those all on there, especially when they deemed, the SEC came out and said, hey, you've got about 9 on there that we're deeming to be securities. Did any one of those get delisted? No, guys, not one of them did. And so why in the world did they go out there being the largest, one of the largest crypto, if not the largest crypto exchange in the United States, and delist XRP? And on top of that, they never honored the Flare airdrop nor the Songbird airdrop, and there's actually a class action lawsuit against them with respect to that. So it's very tough to expect the XRP community to really have a whole lot of sympathy for Coinbase now that they're the ones that are going to be in the hot seat. Coinbase, in its dealings with the securities watchdog, has asked the regulator to identify any assets on its platform that resemble securities. However, the SEC has rebuffed this request, only suggesting that the company broke investor protection laws, leaving Coinbase in the dark. Now, that's their supposition. Cryptocurrency market leaders expect that Coinbase will emerge victorious in its upcoming legal battle, an outcome that's similarly likely for Ripple. On one sure way that Coinbase can get back on the good side of XRP investors is what, guys? To relist the number 6 cryptocurrency once again, at which time they can share the war stories about the SEC. Now, guys, this is something that we have been hearing for quite some time. And where have we been hearing a lot of this in actual projections of the SEC suing a lot of these exchanges? Well, guys, this came right from John Deaton. And just read this down here. In July, crypto law founder and pro-XRP attorney John Deaton predicted that the United States Securities and Exchange Commission would eventually sue a US-based crypto exchange before the end of the year, naming Coinbase and Binance US as potential targets. It seemed likely that it would happen, as just a day later, the SEC, in a complaint against former Coinbase employee Ishan Wahi, alleged that 9 assets traded on the crypto exchange were unregistered securities. In addition, the regulator launched investigations into the publicly traded exchange. Remember, Coinbase had IPO'd and was actually traded on the NASDAQ. However, here it is. However, the year came to an end and nothing happened, but Deaton stuck to his prediction, carrying it over to 2023. It is a prediction that has come true in part with the recent SEC enforcement actions against Gemini and Kraken. But the attorney has maintained that the SEC will go after an exchange for offering unregistered securities for trading. Most recently, the attorney reiterated this view as he expressed confidence that the controversial Hinman documents would become publicly accessible regardless of what happens in the Ripple case. And guys, that could come out of this whole application by Rosalind Layton to actually get a hold of those into the public press, because she believes the public has a right to see them. Now, for context, the SEC enforcement actions against the US-based exchanges so far have revolved around yield and staking products and not around tokens offered by the exchanges, at least until yesterday. As highlighted in a report today, the SEC has issued a Wells notice to Coinbase. The notice expressed the SEC's belief that an unspecified portion of its listed assets, Coinbase Earn, its staking program, Coinbase Prime, and its non-custodial wallet violated investor protection laws. Guys, they're going after Coinbase for the possibility of selling unregistered securities. And of course, they're hitting the biggest one in the nation, aren't they? And you can bet your bottom dollar, guys, that this is going to be a big, big fight, just like Ripple's was. And the headlines are going to be coming out fast and furious. Now, something to think about is this right over here. Ripple and Coinbase together against the US SEC. Ripple legal chief drops a hint. Now, this is really big. The U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission flagged a warning of launching enforcement action against the nation's largest crypto exchange, Coinbase. The digital asset leaders are showing their support in favor of Coinbase as the exchange hints at going to a battle against the U.S. SEC. Now, Stuart Alderati, Chief Legal Officer, the person who is leading Ripple Labs and defendants in the long-running legal tussle against the U.S. SEC, hinted at showing support to Coinbase. As the commission sent Wells notice to the crypto exchange, the Ripple lawyer wrote that an enemy of my enemy is my friend. However, he didn't stop there and went on to share Paul Grewal, Chief Legal Officer of Coinbase, take over the U.S. SEC issued warning. Coinbase's legal chief officer, in a long thread, mentioned that they received a Wells notice from the commission after years of seeking reasonable rules around crypto assets. Guys, it was the same deal with Ripple. They had gone in year after year after year for 8 years. And then on the last day that Jay Clayton was the commissioner of the SEC, they dropped this lawsuit against Ripple. And of course, you watched the price of XRP absolutely tumble, didn't you? Now, what else happened there? Well, Bill Hinman, before that happened, had gone out there and literally publicly gave Ethereum a free pass, when Ethereum, in fact, had an initial coin offering and Ripple had never done anything of the like. And when you see where Jay Clayton went, and you see where Bill Hinman went after they left the SEC, it was to firms that supported the whole Ethereum ICO. The thing stinks to the absolute high heavens, and you got the SEC marching forward with this regulation by enforcement agenda that is not even in congruency with the Constitution, because the SEC doesn't get to make laws, do they, guys? It's Congress that gets to make those laws, and we, the people, elect folks to go to Congress to make laws that we believe in, not one that they think are good for us. We have to remember that, guys. Congress works for us. We don't work for them. And we have to get out there and really lobby in this space to see a fair and balanced regulatory environment established in this space, and not one that just seems to favor all of the big boys sitting up there on Wall Street, all these major law firms and everything else, while we actually get people like Gary Gensler going in there and acting like they're little czars over their own little kingdom, and they're going to dictate to the rest of us. That's at least my opinion anyway. Now, having said that, Gruel highlighted that over the last 9 months, US SEC and Coinbase had met more than 30 times. These meetings involved the crypto exchanges past the registration. He claims that the commission hasn't provided any feedback or policy over what to change or how to register. Now, attorney John Deaton, the amicus curiae in the XRP lawsuit, presented a scenario where Coinbase has Fair Notice Defense 2.0 on its side, while Supreme Court Justice in Bittner and versus U.S. discussed how a defendant must get fair warning for their conduct. He added that the outrage may cause the commission not to get the 3 votes that are required. However, he assumes that is a 3-2 right now. So what happens, guys? You got these 5 commissioners, and they all have to vote on whether or not they're going to move forward with a lawsuit. And in this case, a lot of folks are thinking, hey, look, the way it is right now, more than likely you're going to have a 3-2 that are going to actually move forward with a lawsuit against Coinbase. And think of this, guys. Who's funding these lawsuits? Well, it's us, isn't it? It's our tax dollars that are being used by the SEC to fund these lawsuits. And by the way, with Ripple, it's in the hundreds of millions of dollars. And you think we're not going to see that with Coinbase? And yet this is a whole agenda meant to actually hurt the digital asset space. And who's really are they hurting, guys? They're hurting us, the retail investor, the very people that the SEC is supposed to be out there protecting. Isn't that a laugh? No way have these guys done anything that was with respect to us to protect us when you see them doing all these things. And who's benefiting big time? Well, guys, it's all the major banks. It's all of these big trading houses already. And my belief is, guys, they really want to just push this whole space into a position where it's forced to surrender and give it over to all of these big time Wall Street guys so that they can have custody, so that they can administer, so that they can have the trading exchanges, and so that they can absolutely corral us in to the way in which they want it to be. And that's genuinely how I see it. And a lot of other people see that the way I'm seeing it as well. And you can just go out throughout this space, canvass that and see how many people don't agree that the whole goal of the SEC is really to insulate the traditional powers that be and keep them in a position of control over all of this kind of like all this trading space and stuff like that, when we right now can actually interact with these exchanges on our own accord, can't we? And we can be our own brokers, can't we? And we don't have to worry about somebody else custodying our assets, because we can custody them ourselves on our hardware wallets. And I think, guys, we're going to see a big challenge in all of those spaces. Now, having said all that, I want you to see where Stuart Alderati actually makes this tweet himself so that you can see the thread. And it just came out there yesterday. The enemy of my enemy is my friend, right there. And you can see this whole thread down here. And here he says, the judicial branch is my favorite branch of government. Only it can decide if a law has been broken, and it plays an essential role in ensuring that the executive branch recognizes the limits of its own power. Absolutely, guys. I think what's going to happen here is we are going to see these legal challenges, but look, we're going to be fighting back, and we are going to see some major decisions. We just saw an amazing decision when the SEC was trying to get Voyager and make it so that Binance US could not buy Voyager's assets, which, by the way, would have been what is, in fact, because the judge allowed to go forward, is a major benefit to those individuals that were losing funds in that whole Voyager bankruptcy. And guys, it was a good thing for them, yet the SEC was out there arguing against it. And we're supposed to believe they're out there helping the retail investor? Come on, guys, that's just absolutely obscene. And the judge called them on it and told them for what it was. And hey, by the way, Ripple has absolutely just filed that decision as part of their fair notice defense. And the SEC has come back to rebut it, that say, oh, well, that was just a totally different thing. You can't take quotes that the judge says there and use it as your fair notice defense, even though the judge was literally calling the SEC out for its absolute lack of clarity on telling us what a security is and what it isn't. And they call it the Security and Exchange Commission. You just can't make this stuff up. But guys, I think we're seeing a big turnaround in this space. And you wait and see. We're going to see that legal clarity come forward for XRP. And like I said there at the beginning, one of the most enviable positions to have in this entire digital asset space. And look at what XRP is doing, guys. It's holding its own up there at 43 and 44 cents. Look, when it went up to 47, almost to 49 cents and retraced, you got to expect that. But I'm expecting from this whole situation, when we get that decision, you're literally watching the springboard of an amazing move. That's at least my opinion. And guys, I think it's going to be something else, I'll tell you what. So guys, let's just take a few seconds and talk about our coaching program for those who don't know. With this market heating up, I can tell you from experience, you're definitely going to want to have your plan in place. And what our coaching program is, that is where you and I can meet personally one-on-one for 1 hour over Zoom. And during that time, I share with you our personal journey in that last bull run and what enabled Judy and I to experience some major financial success. I share with you the mistakes we made so that you don't have to fall into the same pitfalls we did. We take a look at your portfolio and make sure that it's balanced toward your goals. And we work together to develop your exit strategy. We can even get your assets off an exchange and onto a hardware wallet, along with delivering to you some amazing techniques that will really help you in this space. Now, the cost of that is $250, and if that's something that interests you, you write me right there at coaching@thedigitaloutlook.com and we'll get you all booked in. So guys, this is the video I have for you today, and as always, I truly hope that you enjoyed it. Now, I want to invite you to join the conversation and drop your comments right down there in the comments section. Open it up to the community and start a discussion. Now, many of you know I'm not a financial advisor and this isn't financial advice, but if you found value in it, if you'd hit that like and subscribe, I'd appreciate it. And hey, don't forget about hitting that notification bell down there, because as you know, things in this space change lightning fast, and I like to get that information out to you as soon as possible. And on top of that, I don't want you missing out on any of our regularly released videos. Now, if you're one of the thousands of people who have been watching these videos but you haven't yet subscribed, would you do the channel a favor and join this community? We'd really love to have you on board. So, in the meantime and in between time, stay safe, be blessed, and I'll catch you in the next one.